Going into this game against the Tennessee Titans, everybody picked damn near for the Lions to win, but I don't think anybody was expecting this absolute embarrassment on the Titans. We're going to talk about it, so stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. Woo-wee! Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. It is always wonderful when we get a win. But I'm going to tell you this right now. That win we just witnessed over the Titans, dude, I was saying it during my live stream. It literally was probably the weirdest game I have ever watched. I have never before, in the 30 years I've been on this earth, 24 of which I've been watching football, I have never seen a game in the NFL won that way. I mean, you take a look at what happened during that game. Our offense barely had to do damn near anything. I mean, I don't remember what it was, but in the broadcast, I think they said that the Lions' average starting position was like the 40 or 35 yard line of the opposing team. Like, dude, our offense barely had to do anything as far as actually, grinding things out. It was made easy for us, at least offensively. Now, to put that in perspective, I'm just going to say this right now. Special teams, good Lord, you guys did a fantastic job. I don't think I have ever seen a game where special teams quite literally took over like ours did. Didn't matter if it was punt returns, didn't matter if it was kickoff returns, our special teams were literally on point. That was why we were able to start so deep in the opposing team's, freaking territory. That was because of Khalil Dorsey and Kalif Raymond doing absolutely stupendous jobs returning the football. And that's not even, including freaking Jack Fox, who did a very good job of flipping the field a couple of times. And then also talking about Jake Bates. But we'll get to him in a little bit more here later. But it's just like, dude, that was a game that I was never expecting to see. Special teams does a huge part in winning that game. The defense starts off a little bit shaky, let's admit it. First quarter was not exactly kind to us. But from there on out, we literally put the clamps on them. And I mean, dude, when you get 4 turnovers in a game, 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, dude, you're just absolutely having a great day defensively as far as gaining turnovers. And what's that saying in the NFL? Whoever wins the turnover margin, the turnover battle, will most likely win. We had a 4-0 turnover margin on the Titans. It wasn't even close. So when you take a look at this game, everything about how, normal teams typically win was pretty much the damn reverse. Usually you win by the offense scoring more points than the opposing team. But in this case, the offense really didn't have to do a whole hell of a lot. Granted, yeah, they still scored points, but it wasn't like I said they were grinding out drives or doing anything super strenuous. The Titans' offense made it very easy for us on defense, and our special teams damn near almost won the game just on its own. That was how much of a complete game this was. When there's literally no sort of pressure being put on any one particular unit because every unit is contributing, that is a complete effort. I'm going to just put it right now. I think this is probably the most complete game that we have ever seen in the Dan Campbell era. And that's saying something. Because there have been some other pretty damn good games we've seen. But dude, this destruction, ass whooping, just annihilation of the Titans. I'm going to say this right now because I know other fans, other places are going to try and downplay this victory. They're going to be like, oh yeah, the Titans, they sucked. What did you expect? It's like, okay, here, time the hell out. Like, listen here, folks. I understand the Titans suck. They are a horrible team. But it is one thing altogether when you lose, like, you know, by 20-something points. That's considered a blowout. But the Titans lost by damn near 40 points. It was a 52-14 rout. I mean, you want to talk about this being even close to a game. The closest this game ever got was when the offense of the Titans caught some pretty damn good breaks in the first quarter, and they actually were able to make the game tied 14-14. But then from there, like I said, the defense clamped down, special teams sprung into action, and you know, the rest is, as they say, history. But what truly makes this game absolutely, you know, just the complete embarrassing fashion that the Titans went through is, let's put this in perspective, folks. The Detroit Lions offense is quite literally one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL. And Jared Goff, over the last 3 weeks, has been one of the most prolific passers in not only the NFL this year, but if you take a look at over the entirety of the NFL's history, over that period of time as well. There's very few quarterbacks that can match what Goff has done over the last 3 weeks. But what did Goff do in this game? Goff virtually did almost nothing. Take a look at his stat line. He was 12 of 15 for 80%, 85 passing yards for 129.9 passer rating, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jared Goff didn't even have 100 yards passing, and we still beat the freaking Titans by damn near 40 points. Goff literally threw the ball 15 times, and he completed 3 for touchdowns. Think about that. Freaking 3 of his 12 completions were for touchdowns. 4 times 3 goes into 12. 25% of Goff's completions were touchdowns this game. That's crazy. And when you put it even to further perspective, take a look at where Goff is now after completing this game. I put all the numbers in, did the passer calculator crap. Goff has completed 74% of his passes, almost 1,700 yards, 9 an average a throw, 13 touchdowns to 4 interceptions with 115.3 passer rating. That's absolutely just phenomenal. That's ridiculous. And then to put it into further perspective, after the game, according to Detroit Lions PR, I'm going to put the screenshot up. Jared Goff is the first player ever in NFL history to have 5 straight games of 72 plus completion percentage rate, 2 plus passing touchdowns, and 110 plus passer rating. 5 straight games. That means quite literally for over a month, Jared Goff has been playing at literally out of this world football. That's unbelievable. Most quarterbacks can maybe do it for a couple of weeks, but for over a month, that is extremely rare. That was Goff. Barely did anything, but yet still had a phenomenal day as far as the quality of his performance. Then you take a look at the running game. Dude, our running backs, I'm going to tell you this right now. Jahmyr Gibbs, over the last 2 weeks, he's just been an absolute terror. Gibbs in this game was 11 rushes for 127 yards, 11.5 an average a rush for a rushing touchdown. Monty, on the other hand, was 9 rushes for 33 yards, 3.7 an average a rush, with a rushing touchdown and also a passing touchdown. I mean, for crying out loud, what the hell can our running backs do? They run, they catch, and now apparently they pass. I mean, it's a literal Swiss Army knife back there. Our running backs can do damn near virtually anything, and it is hard as hell to stop. So, just from an offensive perspective, even though Goff didn't do a whole lot, Gibbs was able to make a hell of a lot of plays, looked very, very comfortable, and was pretty much the engine that kind of drove our offense as far as running the ball. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I made a very huge point about talking about the special teams in the beginning of this video, but dude, Kalif Raymond deserves a damn freaking, game ball. Kalif Raymond is one of the few players, I think maybe the only player in Lions history, I'll have to check this out later, but Kalif Raymond finished the day with a receiving touchdown and also a touchdown on return. And if I recall correctly, it was for a punt return. Kalif Raymond finished the day with a touchdown catching and returning. That's rare. And when you take a look at Kalif Raymond's stats, he was 2 receptions for 14 yards, 7 an average. That's not the greatest, but whatever. But his returns, 5 returns for 190 yards. He was averaging almost 40 yards per return on punts. That is crazy. Most guys can only pick up a couple of yards per punt. Kalif Raymond's out there and he's literally flipping the field. And then to finally end this off, we got to talk about Jake Bates. I'm going to say this right now, but remember when there were so many people back in training camp that wanted to start doubting Jake Bates when we were hearing reports that he was struggling in training camp? And then when he had that one lone miss in the preseason for a PAT, people were really starting to think maybe we should try and find somebody else. Not only did Jake Bates nail a 50-plus yarder today in the game, which not only had more than enough distance, it could have gone another 10, 15 yards, no problem. But it was right square down the damn middle. Like, you couldn't have asked for more accuracy if you wanted to. But to put it in perspective, Jake Bates is now the longest streak of, consecutive kicks in a row in the Lions' career to start their career with the Lions. Jake Bates has made 11 of 11 field goals to start his tenure as a Lions player. Nobody else has done that. Not Jason Hanson, not Matt Prater, not Eddie Murray. Jake Bates has that record all to himself. And considering the names I just rattled off, that is damn impressive. I would throw Jason Hanson as one of the kickers that should definitely go into the Hall of Fame, because that dude was quite literally our scoring, leader for quite a number of years. And Jake Bates just broke a record that even he couldn't make. Okay, that's the special teams. And I'm just going to give a huge shout out to the special teams coordinator who almost never gets any mention, Dave Phipp. I don't know what the hell Dave Phipp is trying to do. Maybe he's trying to become a head coach himself. But dude, after today's game, special teams is going to get a hell of a lot of praise because they were instrumental in this game for us to win. Now let's talk about the defense. Like I said, first quarter, a little bit shaky. Definitely not a great performance because freaking Calvin Ridley tore our ass up for freaking 118 yards. So that wasn't necessarily nice. But from there on out, that defense quite literally just kept stealing the Titans' lunch money. They finished the game with 4 turnovers, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. The interceptions were absolutely beautiful. Freaking the one by Kirby Joseph, like he literally read that ball as perfect as you could, went up, just took it right out of the air, and he returned it, I think, with like 40-something yards. And the one by Trevor Nowaski, even though that technically was just something that kind of fell into his lap because Mason Rudolph got hit, still was a crucial interception because that was how we scored our first points of the game. And then the fumble recoveries. I'm going to say this right now. The fumble recoveries by the individual players who did it, Isaiah Thomas and Carlton Davis, that's great and all. But we got to talk about the guy that caused those fumbles. Same guy, Malik Robertson. And at this point, I want to start calling him Malik Punchin' Robertson because, dude, you watch the replays from when he, knocked out the football, he quite literally did exactly what defensive coordinators and DB coaches practice and preach all the damn time. You are punching the football out. He literally had his hand cocked all the way back and punched the football out. Absolutely perfect technique. So, you want to talk about that, and I think I got it wrong. Amik Robertson, not Malik. I'm kind of excited here. But, dude, defense, when you finish the day with 4 turnovers, you're having yourself a pretty damn good day. Because that's what you want on defense. Yes, you would like to have less yards. Yes, you would like to have less conversions and all that happy crap. But when you have 4 turnovers, you're feeling pretty damn good about yourself, not only as players, but also as a defensive coordinator. But hey, even though you did that well, there's still room for improvement. And considering what our defense did today, that ought to scare the hell out of people. And then finally, I just want to put this out there because I looked at this before the game, but I didn't want to say anything to potentially make people think I was jinxing us. But this is the first time since 1956 that the Lions have started a season 6-1. Remember, folks, the 1950s were when the Lions were considered one of the best teams in the NFL. We had 3 national championships or NFL championships during that time. Furthermore, the Lions' 52 points that they scored today, that ties the franchise record for second place for most points scored in a game. The current record is 55 points. The Lions have scored 52 points, now adding today 3 times. And oh, by the way, if you were paying attention and did the math, this was the fourth time in Lions franchise history that the Lions put up a 50-burger. And oh, you want to know what's funny about those 52 points that I just talked about? The other 2 times that the Lions scored those 52 points was in 1951 and 1952. Take a wild guess who we scored those points against. The team we're playing next week, the Green Bay Packers. Both times consecutive years. I'm just saying, folks, this is what you call a perfect game almost, in the sense that everybody contributed and it was complete total domination by everybody almost from start to finish. Like I said, the first quarter was shaky, but from there on out, it was literally just a sprint to the finish line. But having said that, I've had fun with this episode. I'm looking forward to doing my live stream later tonight. Hopefully you'll tune in. Having said that, I'm going to end it and say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. Also encourage y'all to do one of these 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. I also highly encourage y'all, please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Want to encourage y'all also to share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you possibly can. The more we do it, the greater the channel can grow, the greater the channel has a reach and spread. And with that being said, I hope you all are enjoying the content, whether this is your first time viewing me or you guys have been a long time viewer. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something new out of it. And I also hope everyone is having a great day, that there's something out there that makes you happy, makes you smile. Obviously, if you're a Lions fan, you're smiling a pretty wide smile right now. Having said that, until the next time we meet, I just want to say to everybody, God bless my friends, and go Lions.